a landmark trade deal with Indonesia that eliminates tariffs on 99% of US export into Indonesia. This is huge! And in this video, I'll explain why this is critical. If you're in manufacturing, agriculture, automotive, or healthcare export, this deal fundamentally changed your market access to the world's fourth most populous country. And here's what you need to know immediately to take advantage of it. Welcome back to G.O.L Solution channel, where you can find the latest trade compliance update. I'm Tam, and today we're covering this trade news that couldn't wait. In July, the White House announced the US-Indonesia agreements on reciprocal trade, and it's the most comprehensive trade agreement we've seen in years. Whether you're an exporter, importer, or logistic provider, these deals create massive opportunities while establishing important compliance requirements that you should keep updated on. Let me put this in perspective. Indonesia is the world's fourth largest country by population with over 270 million people, and the US currently runs a $17.9 billion trade deficit with them. Before this deal, Indonesia's imposed an average 8% on US goods, while the US leveraged 3.3%. And as US fact sheets state, this is the 15th market with a big trade deficit with the US. Under the new deal, Indonesia will eliminate tariff barriers on over 99% of US products across sectors. We're talking about agricultural products, health products, seafood, automotive, chemicals, and information technology. This isn't just about tariff reduction. This is near complete eliminations. Here's the key mechanism. Indonesia will pay the United States a reciprocal tariff rate of 19%. This means that the previous tariff imbalance get corrected and create a level playing field for American exporter while generating significant revenue for the US government. Of the significant non-tariff barriers eliminations. The first impacted industry is the medical industry. For companies in healthcare and pharmaceutical, this deal is transformative. Indonesia will now accept FDA certificates and prior marketing authorizations for medical devices and pharmaceuticals. If you've been struggling to enter the Indonesian market because of the duplicative regulatory requirements, that barrier just disappear. This is huge for medical devices manufacturers who previously had to navigate Indonesia's complex certification process while already having FDA approval. You can now leverage your existing FDA compliance to access a market of 270 million people, cosmetic and consumer goods. Now, Indonesia is known to be very protective of their local industries and market by limiting the applying quota of how many foreign brands can go into Indonesia each year. For US products, this quotas is no longer applied for cosmetic, medical devices, and other manufacturer goods. This is great news if you are in consumer goods and eyeing the Indonesia market. Definitely an unfair advantage in my opinion. Number 3, agriculture and digital trade. This is the third win. For agricultural exporter, this deal eliminates virtually every major barriers. Indonesia will exempt US food and agricultural products from all import licensing regimes, including their commodity balance policy that previously created unpredictable market access. All applicable US plant product will receive permanent fresh food of plant origin designation, and Indonesia will recognize US regulatory oversight for meat, poultry, and dairy facilities. This means that your USDA certifications now carry full weight into the Indonesian market. Digital trade revolution. For digital services and e-commerce company, Indonesia commit to eliminate tariffs lines on intangible products and support a permanent moratorium on custom duties for electronic transmissions. They are also providing certain cross-border data flow by recognizing the US as a providing adequate data protection. So what happened next? When will these trade agreements come in effect? The timeline is aggressive. As someone in the trade compliance industry for the past decade, This is the fastest change in regulation I've seen in years. And in the just coming weeks, both countries will memorialize this agreement to lock in benefits. And isn't a years long ratification process. We're looking at implementations in the near term. For businesses, this means that now you can start preparing. Your existing FDA certification, USDA approval, and US manufacturing standard will soon provide direct market access to Indonesia. However, this still includes important compliance requirements. The rule of origins negotiation will ensure that benefits flow to US and Indonesian company, not a third countries attempting to exploit the agreements. There are also new cooperation requirements on export controls and investment security, plus Indonesia commitment to implement forced labor import bans. These create both opportunities and obligations for companies operating in this space. The agreement also addresses supply chain resilience and critical mineral access. Indonesia will remove restriction on export to the US of all industrial commodities, including critical minerals essential for technology and defense applications. If you don't know it yet, Indonesia possesses the largest mines of minerals that can be used for building battery life products like electronics vehicles, products that are being pushed aggressively around the world, especially in the US with the growth of Tesla. As G.O.L solution, we help companies navigate these rule change across North America and South Asia with ease. We'll help you understand what are the latest opportunities you possess with your current FDA registrations in Indonesia market and what is the market entry strategy for your specific products. The US-Indonesia agreements will probably become a template of how reciprocal trade agreements might work with other countries where the US faces significant trade deficit. What sector do you think will benefit most from this Indonesia market access? Are you already exploring export opportunities to South Asia? Let me know in the comments. Discussions help me understand what trade developments matter most to your businesses. Make sure you're subscribed because as this agreements gets implemented, I'll be covering the specific documentations requirements, timeline updates, and practical steps for companies looking to enter Indonesia market. Thanks for watching, and remember, in international trade, the early movers capture the best opportunity. Thank you and bye-bye.